All right, we begin by just breathing deeply. Now, as you breathe deeply, you allow yourself, if you will, to understand that you, the person who came here in a car or a bike or your feet, that you are an entity. Now, the word entity might seem scary to some people, but it just means you are an energy system that has a definite idea of itself. Now, that's a good word to say, a definite idea of itself, because often that's who we are in the world. We are a definite idea of ourselves. The only difference is quite often nobody else in the world perceives the definite idea we have of ourselves, because often the definite idea that we have of ourselves is generated by an egoic construct. It is generated by a survival mechanism within us. So we're starting the meditation with that realization that as you breathe deeply, you don't just breathe to the egoic construct that operates through you. You breathe to the absolute heart of your own soul. Now, a good way to do that is to breathe into the place above your physical heart, which is known as your thymus. It is a gland, but that is the place where you often have seen the pictures of all the high beings that have come and taken form on earth. That is their high heart. And why we breathe into the high heart, which is the place of the thymus between the throat and the heart, is because we want to activate our transpersonal nature. Now, the egoic construct is not transpersonal in nature. It definitely has an I, me, my story, and that's okay. But for this work, we want to breathe into our high hearts, activating that solar energy, the soul that comes from the solar energy that you are, because this is how you came into being. A solar flame came to earth, found a matrix that was put together, a genetic code that would serve the purpose of the soul for its evolution in consciousness. And that ray came in, and that genetic code came to being, and your body was built by that code. But we want to operate from the ray of the soul. So breathing into that thymus region, that place that often we don't think about. If you do think about it, you know it is the thymus, which again is the gland that activates the T cells and the white cells. So we want to see that beautiful thymus in our heart of hearts of the soul as a flaming heart. Breathing deeply. And allow yourself as you breathe into that flaming heart to see that beautiful high heart beginning to glow with pearlescent white light. And as you know, with pearlescent white light, it has all the other high frequencies colors, the fuchsias, the turquoises, the sapphire blues. That's the beautiful thing of pearlescent light. It carries frequencies of many higher dimensional energies. So as you breathe into that high heart, you settle yourself now into the group soul that we are operating in. As you allow yourself to say to yourself, if you will, I open my physical body. I allow my body to recalibrate to the frequency of my soul. And just keep breathing into that high heart now as you listen to that. I allow the body to recalibrate to the frequency of my soul. And begin to feel there's a subtle energy that the soul is. And that subtlety, quite often we push away. But the subtle energy is because it's coming from a higher plane of consciousness. And so as you breathe into that pearlescent white light and see that white flame growing, you become more aware of the more subtle realms of your own being. Because indeed, you are a subtle being as well as a physical being. You are an emotional being as well as a mental being. You are a solar being as well as an earth being. They are not separate. They're all the same, made of the same solar fire. And as you tune into the subtlety, you let your mind relax, this mind that goes by time and rules and mandates and controls and is quite often operated by the very basics of keeping this mammal body clothed, housed, identified, feeling good, smelling good, looking good. That mind that focuses all the time on the third dimension, but you begin to breathe in with that pearlescent white, that more subtle energy, and you relax the third dimensional mind and kind of say, you don't really need to be engaged at this point, just unengage, because I am here now to be in my own solar awareness. And as you do this, you allow yourself to say, I open my mental body. I let go the schematic of survival in the third dimensional idea of myself. And I open to the divine plan that my soul carries for my own evolution and the evolution of this world and this species. And then as you allow your mind to feel it moving to the more subtle, pearlescent white ray, you allow yourself to feel joy inside yourself. It's something we often don't let ourselves feel, but you just feel the joy that you are part of this amazing cosmic order as an individual concept of self. But you are still made of this cosmic order. And you let joy come to your heart, both the high heart, but most importantly to the third dimensional heart that pumps your blood. And you feel the frequency, the magnetic of joy come to your emotional body. Despite stories and fears and hardships, you can still let that vibration in, and you see it coming in with your breath and going into the blood on the molecule of oxygen. And you kind of feel like you're telling your body it's time to wake up to a new frequency of light and love. We are no longer limited to the magnetics of a 3D reality. As you say to yourself, I open my emotional body. I ask the solar fire to come in, to transform, to transmute, and to transfigure the denser emotional patterns that I can release now, so that I may carry more truthful love, more truthful understanding, more truthful consciousness through this vehicle, and I may radiate it into the world at large. And with this, you begin to feel the light that you are, this being of light, still having an individuality, still having a ball of light, which is your etheric energy, this very subtle energy body. We've seen them in all the pictures, all the old pictures of Jesus and Mary and all the Vedic pictures. They all had a body of light. Now, that's not what we saw, the pictures we see on TV, but it doesn't mean they're not here. They are here. You are a body of light. And as you relax into that and feel its subtlety, you begin to feel that you are getting your nourishment from that etheric body. You begin to feel that you are literally in an incubator. It's a solar incubator. It's not a physical incubator. It's an incubator for your soul to bring frequencies to your consciousness to help you burn through anything that you need to let go of so you can keep your evolutionary spiral upward. And you allow yourself to say to yourself, I open my etheric body. I relax in the colors and vibrations and magnetics that my soul has planted within that subtle body. I rejoice that I have all that I need to let go of what does not serve me and to manifest and create through this idea of me the higher plan, the higher purpose, the higher calling. As you do this, you just in your mind's eye scan this kind of necklace that we are of these baubles of light, one by one, and we begin to realize that we've lived other lives. We know other people who are also these baubles of light, and we bring that consciousness through our necklace to everyone in this circle, and we let it radiate outward into our world, even to those people who are frightened of the control that they feel, even to those people that we see now being called up from the sewers. We still send this evolutionary bubble of light outward to remind humanity it is the time of evolution. Now, as we do this, we begin to feel the earth under our feet. We begin to feel the earth inside of us, because indeed we are earth vehicles as well as solar vehicles. Our bodies are made of earth, the elements, the crystals, the water, the food. You don't get it from a grocery store. It comes from the earth. So you are eating earth, you are drinking earth, and you just allow yourself to begin to feel this magnificent earth that feeds this body, clothes this body, and realize you are earth, you are Mother Earth, and you are in cosmic order like she is, you are in solar order like she is, and you are in galactic order like she is. And you begin to feel the earth rotating, the moon around her, both rotating around the sun rotating around the galactic center, and even our galaxy rotating, spiral as it is, and also rotating around an even higher center. This is cosmic order. And you're not frightened of it. You let yourself feel the gravitational pull to the higher evolution. You let yourself expand to the space that is creation. You let yourself rest in this place of trusting higher order. And with this, you give this entity that we started with compassion. Compassion for what it is going through at a time of very rapid evolutionary growth. compassion for the feelings you've had, compassion for being part of a thought form that is known as humanity, that as a human vehicle is facing really big issues, and they're going to get bigger. But you remember, I am part of a human family, and I am part of a cosmic family. I am part of the earth family, and I am part of the soul family. And I am capable of being in alignment to the higher order while living in this earthly plane now. And you let yourself feel the peace of the magnetic alignment. And you let your body rest in it. Every organ, every story, every genetic code that might have caused you conflict, you just let everything rest in this higher order. And this is compassion for your earthly entity idea of yourself.